In today's breaking story, a Republican governor just switched parties and dropped a brutal bomb on Donald Trump. That's right, Trump is only unifying the country against himself. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avallone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, more and more people continue to turn away from the Republicans, primarily because of Trump. For example, his policies are destroying the economy.
Molson Coors said its annual profit will take a hit due to President Donald Trump's tariffs on aluminum imports, which the company uses to make its beer cans. Molson Coors, which produces its beer in Colorado, said on Tuesday it expects costs to rise between $20 and $35 million in the second half of the year, thanks to a tariff-driven increase in the price of aluminum. Tariffs on aluminum shipped into the U.S. have doubled to 50% since June, from the previous 25% duty imposed in March. The steep tariff spike led Molson Coors to lower its annual profit forecast, projecting that annual adjusted earnings per share will likely fall 7 to 10% compared to its prior forecast of a slight rise. Trump's fluctuating tariff policies have pressured consumer spending, causing customers to pare back on discretionary items such as alcohol. As a result, Molson Coors, which also produces Blue Moon, expects net sales for the year to drop 3 to 4%. The beer maker did, however, beat Wall Street estimates for second quarter results. Shares were up about 1% in midday trading.
Meanwhile, Democrats are bringing the heat and appealing to voters.
What would Jesus do about a tax system that benefits the rich over the poor? What would Jesus do about a healthcare system that forces the sick to start GoFundMe pages to afford life-saving surgeries? What would Jesus do about an education system that ties a child's school funding to their community's property wealth? What would Jesus do about a justice system that incarcerates more people than any other country on the face of the earth? And what would Jesus do about an economic system that prioritizes profits over the health of our planet? Would he stay in his room and pray? Or would he walk into the seat of power and flip over the tables of injustice? We Christians are called to do more than charity. We are called to challenge the systems that make charity necessary.
And now, in a swift and sudden rebuke, a Republican governor just switched parties and dropped a brutal bomb on Trump. Take a look at today's top story. In a move that's sending shockwaves through the political world, former Georgia Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, once a proud Republican, has just switched parties, officially becoming a Democrat, and he didn't go quietly. In a searing op-ed for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Duncan explained his decision with clarity, conviction, and perhaps most importantly, compassion. There is no date on a calendar or line in the sand that points to the exact moment in time my political heart changed, but it has, he wrote, saying his decision was born from the daily struggle to love his neighbor as a Republican. This isn't just a personal political evolution. It's a massive indictment of what the Republican Party has become under Donald Trump, a fractured, extreme, and increasingly cruel version of its former self. And it comes at a time when the party can least afford more defections. Duncan's break with the GOP didn't start with Trump's attempted theft of the 2020 election, though that certainly didn't help. It began earlier as he watched the party gut healthcare access, ignore the working poor, push extreme positions on guns, and champion what he called heartless and pointless immigration policies. One of his most scathing criticisms was the GOP's stance on healthcare. Duncan blasted the party's complete failure to offer real solutions, saying that telling people to get a job doesn't help when 85% of the uninsured already live in working households, a fact backed by the Kaiser Family Foundation. He also condemned Republicans for slashing $200 billion from SNAP, gutting free and reduced cost school meals for children. We should all be looking for ways to love these kids better than continuing to send them to school hungry under the guise of an income tax break, he wrote, pointing to Georgia's $17 billion rainy day fund as an obvious way to help. But Duncan's most powerful message was also the simplest. Compassion is policy. He said he became a Democrat because he realized that loving your neighbor doesn't always require money, just better decisions. His final line says it all. The list of reasons why I'm now a Democrat continues to grow. Most importantly, my decision puts me in the best possible position each day to love my neighbor. This is more than a political shift, it's a moral one. And it's further proof that Donald Trump's grip on the Republican Party is tearing it apart from the inside. As more moderates and former conservatives defect, the party's lurch toward extremism isn't just alienating voters, it's setting the GOP up for a midterm bloodbath. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.